Hey, Internet. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Awesome. Oh, it fades away. That's good. Yeah, I'm sitting in my living room, or not, well, my dining room. And in a moment, I'm going to take you to the studio study place where normally I would try to record this kind of stuff. And you can see what July has done to me, and some of it is my own fault. It's the weather's just been so great, so I haven't really gotten in there to clean the way that I should. But as we move in there, we're going to talk a little bit about that and about what next. I want to respond to some of the comments about the lectionary, the Old Testament series from the last video that I did as well, and then maybe talk about the podcast that I just released today, which I think is pretty cool. So first, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, I'm supposed to somehow protect my privacy, right? It said that, so you can't see. This is my house, but you're not allowed to see it. No seeing my house. Hold on. We're going to turn around. You can see my ceiling. There you go. And then now, oh, look. There's my floor, my carpet. But right around this corner here, oh, look, we're drawing something there. This is not the way this room is supposed to look, right? And right over there, you can see the camera and the light that I would normally use, and we're in a bad spot here. So on that note, I do want to point out, if anybody would like to purchase, let's get down here, the Risk Lord of the Rings Trilogy Edition or Munchkin Quest or Risk Legacy, only partially used, feel free to message me on that, because I don't know if I'm going to play those again. And so they're there for the taking. I promise to make it cheap and just mostly the cost of shipping if you're really going to play them. Eclipse, on the other hand, decent game. And hoping to put some of these into smaller boxes at some point, which, oh, I should share this. We just picked up this one. Oh, is this one good? This is so much fun. We got little kids. It's kind of like an action RPG on your tabletop where you like flick stuff with your fingers, and the kids loved it. Hoping to play it again very soon. All right, so here we are in this messy room, and it's why I'm not giving you good sound and good video and all that. But hopefully we'll get that figured out. We're thinking about moving some rooms around, and this room might not be this room anymore. And that'll throw everything in even more of a mix. You know how in summertime, maybe not, maybe you don't. For me, before the winter comes, because winter is coming, right? Before the winter comes, I kind of want to get everything clean and maybe rearrange a little and feel kind of fresh and tidy, yeah? Ready to hit the fall, yeah. So that's been some of the juggling here. But so I mentioned the Old Testament lectionary series that I'm developing and or doing for this year for our church, and I know our congregation. I know that lectionaries and how you handle them can be a real tense and debating point in the Missouri Synod. And I don't have any intention of really digging into that so much. But for those of you who said, hey, that's pretty cool, I'm curious about that, the way you can learn about that as it comes is sign up for the newsletter. It is my intention to start that newsletter around the time that lectionary would start, right? And those items will be available at that point. That doesn't mean that you will necessarily be able to use it where you are if you're a pastor and you would like to consider that. I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend you take some time and see what I do with it and see if you want to use it for a year. It's really, and by the way, it's intended to be used for a year once, right? Like, you're not really supposed to do this over and over. It's a 1-year series to increase Old Testament knowledge amongst your entire congregation, including a confirmation curriculum that would be connected to that learning. And so that'll be part of this too. So if you want to see all of that as I throw it together, you can watch that probably via the newsletter. Yeah. I may make mention of it here as well. And then the intention would be that if you want the PDF version later, that should be available for a pretty low price at some point. But that's the idea behind all this. You want the free version? Start checking out the newsletter, and hopefully that'll get going. In the meantime, I mean, I went back, and I am excited, but it's got so much work it needs to be done, because you really want to make it work well. But the ability to dovetail between the service texts and then into Bible study, to go deeper on the Bible study texts. So our first text for the year is going to be the going into exile from Second Kings. I think we're using Second Kings, going into exile. And then we're going to dive into, during Bible study, hold on, let me get this right. Am I getting this backwards? I can't remember. Anyway, the whole day is about going deeper to what is the exile, what happens. We're like starting at the back of the Old Testament. But then by the end of the year, we'll come back through that, because the way the church year is set up, that'll work out that way. So anyhow, it's exciting. It's tied to the confirmation curriculum, which I'm also excited about. And what did I want to say about that? I was going to say something else about this in general. I've been really wrestling with like confirmation for a long time. You can go and find a video called "I'm a Lifelong Lutheran," but if you search my name on YouTube, it's still like the only thing that comes up. Crazy. So you can go find that, and you can hear my initial kind of public voicings of my confusion and concern about it. But I continue to try to figure out, how best to engage these young minds who don't have enough biblical knowledge and have a world that's just going nuts out there, how to engage them so that they learn, imbibe, and think from their theology. And so one of the things I've done is I've really highly stressed parent involvement. Not so much that they have to be in class, parents have to teach. So there's a high level of homework involved. And this year, that's going to involve some of that Old Testament stuff I was talking about a moment ago. There is also, this year, we're introducing a prayer element. Namely, that we're going to have opening and closing prayer services, both Vespers and evening prayer, to begin and end the evening. 15-minute services with readings that are selections of the previous week's lectionary texts, but small ones, right? And so they and at different ones at different services, so that it'll kind of remind you of what you heard on Sunday as you continue into your week. And then I'm doing something brand new this year. I'm kind of excited about it, though. You might recognize this. This is from Concordia Publishing House. You can get it for, I think it's $5 or something like that. It's the Augsburg Confession all by its lonesome. This is our curriculum for at least the fall quarter or semester of confirmation. But there's also this one here, which may be a spring semester, but it kind of depends on how far we get through this. I did another talk. Where was that? I think that was at Village Lutheran in Ladue, and you can still find that one out there by looking for Village Lectures, I think. I did a talk on the Augsburg Confession as the platform for ecumenical dialogue. That sounds hoity-toity. I really do believe that the Augsburg Confession is the best structure for talking about our faith. And so I'm going to try that this year with the confirmands. In the past, I've tried other things. Dr. David Scare has a book called Discourses in Matthew, which suggests that Matthew was the original early church catechism. And so I tried that 1 year, and it was okay. It was okay. And then last year was kind of a gambit, because I stepped right into it and had to adjust some things as we went, and we lowered the age and a bunch of other stuff. So last year we basically focused on Luther's questions and answers for those who wish to go to the sacrament as our structure for the year, while also attempting, I went from that Matthew idea. I said, well, why don't we try Romans? And we tried going through Romans. No, they weren't ready. They weren't ready for that. So anyway, this year is like back to the drawing board. And so Augsburg Confession is going to be the huge part, with the questions and answers for those who wish to go to the sacrament being effectively the test. There's a few more questions that we add on there, like baptism and stuff like that. So also, we're going to be calling confirmation Inception this year at our congregation, kind of like junior youth, right? So junior youth is confirmation, yeah. But Inception, which is a really cool word, right? Inception is when you begin something, yeah. But it's not just that. It actually is a word for beginning something as endeavor yourself, for receiving someone into a group, and for ingesting something into your mouth. Do the math on that. It's way better than confirmation. So we're going to be calling it that for our group. And again, the idea to pull these kids into lifelong discipleship, which our new youth group, Conviction, will start right after the second prayer service of the evening, and then end with its own prayer service. So there'll be an overlap for prayer. See, I don't know. Maybe it won't all work out, but I'm excited about it. And then to push the whole Old Testament thing into it, I'm excited. So if you want to keep hearing about this kind of stuff, it's not going to be regular video content, generally speaking, but the newsletter will probably at least kind of give you a little picture of some of this stuff structurally. Like, and I'm planning to include hymn picks and things like that. What was it? I said messes. Oh, logo. That's the last one. So then also I released today for the podcast something that if you like the Revelation videos you found on the channel in the past, or you like what the podcast was doing with Revelation, but then it kind of stopped, today is like not a foretaste, but like a post-taste of the feast that was. The last of the 4 hours that I lectured at Concordia Seminary in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at the Christ Academy, which is a young men's and women's retreat for those pursuing or contemplating church work. The last hour we did was Revelation in an hour. So that's been released. It's up now at revfisk.podbean.com. You can find it at revfisk on Twitter, Facebook. It's up everywhere. Revfisk.com, sitting right there on top. So you can go find it, download it, listen to it. I would hope you would enjoy it. And it's not quite an hour. It's like 70 minutes. But what you might also see on there is the first draft of the Mad Christian logo, which I like how it turned out. I was kind of skeptical. I spent a lot of time looking at, talk about how deaconess and were there. That didn't make sense. There were pre-deaconess students there, right? And it wasn't women to be pastors. So if I said that in a confusing way, naughty me. I spent too much time yesterday playing with fonts and looking at fonts, trying to find something that would work. And I was like going to buy one. And I reached out to the guy, and then I found this other one that was free. And I was like, oh, that kind of works. So let me know what you think about that logo. It's actually going to be the video front for this video as well. That's exciting. That's fun. Moving the Mad Christian brand has been something I've decided is just going to be uber slow. And that will enable me to do my best to do major projects rather than worry about trying to create a corporation, which I have no intention of doing anyway. But that'll allow me to keep working on the Book of Hours, to keep working on, my fiction book, which I'm not gonna tell you about it at all. And stuff like that. Yeah. So videos will come as they come. And again, so I wanted to sit down at this space. I really did. And then deal with like an actual question from one of you that's written down. I have a whole pile of them. Look, I can make it look like you're looking at me on the video. Oh, look, see, that looks familiar, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. But not today. However, tomorrow, 7 a.m. I know it's super early. 7 a.m. Saturday morning chill, your Q&A. So be there at this spot. I will sit down and I will be at your disposal to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So that definitely is happening this week, and long term, that's sort of a goal. Why 7 a.m. you say? Because I would like to relax on my Saturday morning. So we could go 6 a.m. if you like that better, but I was thinking 7 will probably do for me. And then that way by 8 o'clock, I can go and enjoy my day. But I want to do that. It's really worked out well. I think it's a good time for those of you who can make it, and you can always watch it later as well. So for now, from my private abode, look at that old TV. It looks new. You're jealous, right? No, don't be jealous. Like it has like such a short in it that the place where you would plug in the RCA cables, because you're totally using RCA for everything these days, right? The place where you would plug in your RCA cables, the screen pops up like the image asking you if you would like to transfer over to that, even though nothing's plugged into it, and you're like trying to watch something on HDMI. It's like, would you like to go to this new thing? And you can't make it go away, or when you make it go away, it comes back. So that's not fun. Anyway, interestingly, we're doing a lot less TV these days. I miss it. I don't miss the blue light at night. I like the sleep. Anyhow, that's a different topic, and I'm gonna go clean this room. What a mess. Maybe I won't though. I might just go back outside because everything's so much more comfortable outside. Yeah. Was that, was that like too much privacy? Do you know where I live now? We'll catch y'all tomorrow, 7 a.m. Listen to the podcast between now and then. Revelation in an hour. And if you want to know more about the Old Testament stuff and the focus of this year that we're doing here in Rockford, subscribe to that newsletter. There should be a link in the show notes below. You know what they don't tell you how to do on a live stream on your phone is stop it. So I'm going to try this X. We'll see. Yeah? Catch you later. Rock on. Am I sure I want to end? That's fun. Yeah. Rock on.